The cloud. Okay, hi guys. So Nina is going to host tonight. She is going to talk about how she runs her free groups. Ooh, Ruby, I love it. Are you ready to take notes over there? She's so cute. So some things to note: the mint chocolate chip beach bars launched today. So if you already have a beach bar order, maybe change your flavor to try that. I'm super excited. It's my favorite ice cream flavor. So I'm really excited about that. And then XB Sculpt launches tomorrow. And if you have any questions, I definitely feel like I have dropped the ball in not sharing all the things. I have some graphics and things like that, and I'll make an XB post tomorrow. In our working coach chats, I've shared the transformations that I have, but just talking about it on your stories. And if you plan to do it, just talk about why you're excited, and continue to do that. I know I told you guys I'm not going to launch it right now, but the beauty of this is you can launch a program anytime. Right now I'm in the middle of Lift More, and what I'm going to do is I'm privately going to message some clients that like loved Fire and Flow and like some other things that I think it would be great for them. So I'm going to tell them about it and tell them, how they can get it with that discount, or if they want to unlock it. The other thing I'm going to do is Danielle and I will still post in our challenge group talking about it, sharing things like that. But for me itself, I didn't make a huge launch over it. And so that's okay. If I decide to do it in a month or something, I can talk it up then. So I don't want anybody to feel like you're behind or anything like that. But if you do have any questions about XP Sculpt, let us know. And I will have, if you check in the boards app, I've actually put together a page for anyone to use. It's generic and it has everything for XP Sculpt right there. So any other, I just posted the October calendar today. Trying to see if there's any other announcements. Do you have any other announcements, Danielle?
What'd you say? I'm sorry. Anything else to add?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, battle of the besties. Today's like the last day. Melissa was asking about it, so Melissa might hop in there. But today's the last day. The national wake up call. Just share your takeaway or something you learned, and you can do that by tomorrow. And we will create another spreadsheet with challenges ahead of time, so you can do that. I know that is so helpful. I just haven't done that yet. And then Danielle, I didn't actually tell you this yet. And so if you want to do a different time in yours, or if you just want me to do it live in both of our team pages, I'm happy to do that. But Danielle and I started talking about a new coach getting started right call. And I'm just going to go ahead and do it this Wednesday at 12 p.m. I'm going to do 12 to 12:30. Danielle, if that works for you and you want to hop on with me, awesome. If not, I'm totally fine just doing it in both of our team pages, so it's there and done. And then, or if you want me to just do it in mine and you do it in yours. Danielle's like, thank you for talking to me about this before you put it on your calendar. But I just went ahead and did that because I needed to get October's calendar out and done. So, and then the following week, Liz and Camry, anybody that's doing that, 8:30 p.m. is that Grit and Grace pumpkin painting or carving. Anybody is welcome for that. So if that time doesn't work for you, let me know. I just picked a date because that was the overwhelming response was Monday for that poll, and that was a day we didn't have a team call, so I did that. And you guys can just plan and whatever for that, but I put that on the calendar, and I think that would be fun to invite for team, for challengers, for everybody. And then the following week I'm at leadership, and I'm just going to do some lives and some FOMO in that Life by Design coach sneak peek that we have, so feel free to add anybody that's interested in coaching in there. And then and then on the 17th is a What is Coaching webinar. And every Thursday at 12 is Battle of the Besties call. So I think that's like kind of the only thing I wanted to highlight for October. Nina, if you're not on this call and you're watching it, Nina signed up as a client in February. And when did you sign up as a coach? April, yeah. And so her first 3 months, she hit success starter. She's been rocking it. She just locked in last month, her 4th month. So she got into a test group. We'll find out which one it is, but that's super exciting. And so she just is seriously so coachable. She just does the thing. She lives in her inbox. And she didn't even have an Instagram. So I like to talk about that because, sometimes we can get so caught up with doing all the reels and all the things, and then we're not doing the important part, which is messaging and inviting. So she said she used to be a coach years and years and years ago. and she said she was on every call, did everything, and but she wasn't in her inbox. So this time she's doing it differently. And I just love highlighting how her success. So she's a mama of 6. She homeschools them all. She'll tell you a little bit about her, but take it away. You're muted.
Wait, hold on. Is it working?
Yes, there you go.
Okay, now I'm finally unmuted. Okay, can you see me and everything? I don't know what my thing's doing. Okay, so yeah, most of you probably know me, but I'm Nina, and like April said, I have 6 children that I homeschool, a 16-month-old that still nurses and for some reason finds the need to be attached to me most of the night. So it's a lot of fun. So I just wanted to, if you have any questions, feel free to type them and I will try to find them and I will answer them at some point. So this is going to be about free groups and how I run my free groups and how I find new people. So I'm constantly expanding the free groups in my network. So it's not always the same people. So first of all, if you don't have a free group, I would recommend making one. I actually have an Instagram, but I have not posted on it yet. That is this month, I need to get moving on using Instagram. So this is all on Facebook, what I'm talking about. So I would make a free group and then anyone you talk to, I would not replace selling total solution packs. So I do not offer this first. Like when I'm talking to someone and we're catching up, I do not say, would you like to join my free wellness group? You need to first find their goals, do everything the same. And then if they're putzing or if they're not interested in spending money right now, or if you just can't get past that barrier, then I would wait like a couple days to a week. If you end up sending out a share cart and they're like putzing, or if they just have one thing after another excuse wise, then maybe in a couple days to a week, just say, okay, well, if you're not really ready, why don't you just join our free wellness group? And you can it's a wonderful community of women where we help each other. There's recipes. We do all kinds of fun stuff, little fun challenges. And in a minute, I will go through what I post in certain challenges. And usually they never really say no to that. And it's actually really cool because then you're still in contact with them and they eventually do come around, even if like they're not posting. But okay, so what do I post in the free group? So mini challenges. So for example, you can say, I am going to do a squat challenge, for example, for 7 days, or I am going to do a core challenge, or we're going to do a water challenge. So I'll do stuff like that. And then also recipes, some meal prep tips, motivational quotes, support encouragement, some Bible verses along with the encouragement and support, accountability. I also announce new programs and products once in a while. So then they're also exposed to that. Health tips. I'm started incorporating a little bit like recipe swaps because a lot of people I feel like are constantly posting, does anyone have recipes for crock pot or air fryer? So I've been starting to do stuff like that too. And then I do not post my workouts and like every single day, I do not post my workouts in the free group. I post that in Grit and Grace, but the free group, I try to keep more like a community so that I'm not just talking about like Beachbody and my workouts all the time. Because even if they're working out, they don't have to be doing Beachbody. I will still support them. They can be doing whatever they want. This is just completely free. What else? And it's important. Okay, so if you're saying like, well, my free, no one's really commenting, I do get that too, but people are always watching. But you need to continually find new people. So I would recommend if you just keep going with the same people every single day, just like when you sell a total solution pack, some people fall off, some people are there for a month. I have some people like spend $200 and some dollars. And I like a girl right now, she was so excited. She messaged me, this is now week 3. I'm like, I'm waiting. I want to start job 1 with you. Like, are you ready to start? I sent her a meal plan 3 weeks ago. I sent everything. And she's like, oh, I'm getting there. So just like with anything, people might fall off. So you want to find new people. So in order to find new people, if you go into a group, you can go into the group, and if you click on the invite button, there's actually people that Facebook will suggest. I wouldn't recommend doing like 40 or 80 people a day, but like maybe 5 to 10 people a day. Go in and you can invite from those suggested. And then whenever I invite from the suggested ones, I also make sure to send a message, because I don't know about you, but I also get like a ton of invites to random groups all the time. So if I add them this way and I had not already started a relationship with them first, I message them. I tell them that I added them to the group because I thought they were a mom like me or whatever, however you can relate to them. You thought that they would love the group and that a lot of people have a lot of stuff in common and it's just a health community. And we're about to start, for example, say you're about to start a water challenge. We're about to start a water challenge. I was just seeing maybe if you'd want to join. There's a bunch of other like-minded moms. It's a fun community. And most people are like, oh, okay, cool. Like, it's just keep it like real lighthearted and like nothing. It really is kind of, I guess, keep it more simple. And then you can also, this sometimes works for me, sometimes doesn't, but you can also try to like post once in a while, like, oh, I will send out free samples of Energize or Shakeology or something if you add a couple of your friends to our group, just to the free group. So that could be also another way. So I say also I get a lot, well, no one's commenting, no one seems to be paying any attention, and like, should I keep posting? Like, it's exhausting. It seems like no one's really engaging. I would say just to keep trying to add new people and keep going. I mean, everyone, I started with no one, like we all start with no one. And then you, let's see, hold on one second. Oh, so I always think no one's watching, and then it's almost awkward for me because I feel like anywhere I go, then people are always making comments to be about my post, but they never say anything on the post. So like my other friend messaged me the other day and she's like, thank you so much about posting. I posted about some homeschool tip about go to the zoo or whatever, public kids are back in school. And she was like, oh my gosh, I just want to let you know I went, no one was there. It was the best day ever. Thank you for posting. Or people in public see me all the time. They're like, oh my gosh, I saw you lost all this weight, and they'll ask me. So like people are watching even if they don't comment. So I know it can be very discouraging to like day in and day out sometimes, especially when you're just starting. Like if a lot of people aren't engaging, but I would say just keep going, because if you fall off and you're not consistent, then the whole thing's probably just going to disappear, because then they're going to stop. Like they're going to be like, oh, she's not even posting anymore. So I know it can be really, really discouraging, but I kind of just keep chugging along. And then let's see. And then on top of adding new people, this really isn't strictly free group, but even whenever I message my, I don't know how many people, but like if you are supposed to be adding to your network every day, so say you add 5 people or 10 people, I also send a personalized message instead of just hitting like add friend, because a lot of times you just hit add friend, they might have a million friends and they don't really know why you're adding them. So a lot of the time, if you send a personalized message, that really does help. So, and then when you post the message and they approve, then a lot of the time, if you post consistently, they're going to know what you're doing, know what you're about. And then when you go to then send them another message to build the relationship, a lot of the time you'll get, oh, thank you for messaging me. I did see that, but I wasn't sure and I didn't want to message you, or like they're just kind of, but then once you start talking to them, they have seen things you have posted. And so they refer back to it a lot, even with me. So that also helps them, and it doesn't make it as awkward whenever you're talking. And then in my free groups, I also I made this mistake. I should have listened to April. I don't know why I did not. It was so stupid. So I made this mistake of, I don't know why. I started running the 7-day free challenges, which I will discuss now, but I put that in its own group for some reason. And now I cannot get all these people in that group. I tried merging the groups, but with no luck. Like people are not switching over. So now I have 2 groups that I have to post in. So listen to April, I guess, is my takeaway from that. So put everyone in one group and run everything out of the free group. And if you want to like pull people separately that are doing the 7-day challenge, I would just put them in a pod, not in like a separate Facebook group. Okay, so within my free group, probably about once a month, but you can do it more if you want to try and get more people. I mean, you really can do it whenever you want. I run like a free 7-day health challenge. And what it is, again, I sell the total solution package first. I always build a relationship and start with that. But then if they're, like you could sense it that they are not going to ever come around, I just say, okay, that's fine. And then in a week or a little while passes and I say, hey, you know what? I know we talked before. I'm running. I know you were a little bit hesitant. I understand it can be a lot of money when you have kids. I'm running a free 7-day challenge. You can see if you like the meal plan, if it's for you, the workout's for free. Do you just want to try it with me? And most of the time they say yes, because then it's free. They're now really struggling because they were struggling when they talked to you. So sometimes it's like, if you don't get back to them for a week or a month, usually now they're really struggling unless they figured out something else to do. So with this, I give them a meal plan. I probably do more work than I need to. April was telling me, but I guess it's my personality. So I have a meal plan made for like A, B, C, and then I just add stuff if they're in D, E, or F. I need to update them. But so they get like an exact meal plan. I ask them if they're nursing. I ask them how much they weigh. I say, I'm sorry, I hope you don't mind, but how much do you weigh? Are you nursing? And then they get like an exact meal plan of like what to eat. And then I also do clean week. You can they can do clean week for a week. I also try to do the 14-day BOD trial, but what did you say, April? It disappeared. Okay, yeah, it's a lot at first, but once it's done, I never had to do them again. I made the meal plans one time and then it was done. And I never touched them again. But so let's see, what was I just saying now? I forgot. Okay, so they can either do clean week. You want to sign them up no matter what with an account on Beachbody. So then if they decide to purchase something, they're already under you and it's all situated and you can figure out if they're with another coach or not and get that all situated. So a lot of people, I actually had pretty hesitant on the 14-day because they had to enter in credit cards. So a lot of people started backing off like a couple months ago when I ran my first challenge. It was like, oh, I don't want to put in my card. And I was like, I understand. I'll tell you when to cancel. And they still wouldn't. So lately I've just been doing the week of the clean week because they all do it. And then they don't have to enter their card, but they're still under you. And I have had no hesitations with that. Let's see. Oh, and it's up to you whenever you do these challenges. So a lot of people say, make sure they're not with another coach, but I kind of have a funny story. So I have 2 girls that I was like, I'd already sent the meal plans to. I was amateur. So I just sent everything over. And then I realized when I went to enter in their email, they already had other coaches. Well, the one girl I asked if she had, I was like, whatever, I'll be nice. I still let her in. I still let her participate. She told me she switched coaches. She told me this twice. She's like, okay, it's all done. But she doesn't know I can tell and see that she didn't. But then now the craziest turn of events, she is like, we talk all the time. She's my best customer. She's always ordering stuff. She finally truly did switch over to me. And I found out she's like an ex-nutritionist that is highly thinking about coaching right now. But it's just funny because I would say my experience, just let them all in. I figure what's the harm in just like 1 week. And I have another girl very similar. She didn't want to change to me. I kept helping her. She did finally change to me because she realized I was helping her. And then she ended up upgrading to like Shakeology. She was like, oh, I don't like shakes. And I'm like, it's fine. I'll still help you. And then 2 or 3 months later, she was like, oh, actually, I'll try. And like now they both, like, we have really good relationships. So that's completely up to you if you want to help them or not, whether or not they have another coach. And even if they keep lying to you, but they both did come around. So it ended up working out. I think a lot of times people have too many people coming at them and they think you just want to sell them something and then you're going to like abandon them or something. So I think a lot of people have reservations at first. I think I'm looking at all my scribble that I did at 1:30 in the morning. I think I may be done with what I was going to say.
I loved it. I have a couple of questions. And then Cam said, do you share about products in your free group when you're not running a free 7-day challenge?
Yeah, so the challenge, I want to say I don't share a ton about the products in the challenge. I just give them the meal plan and we do the workouts. I can share what I post. Like I have the 7-day post. I could share that, what I post each day. But I don't really share a ton about the products. I do post about the products in my free group, not like constantly, but just sometimes I do. Not when I'm not running anything, just in general, kind of like on your main Facebook wall, like how you interject it sometimes, and I do post about all of it, but not all the time.
Okay, so when you are not during like a 7-day challenge, how are you posting at least once daily, or what does it look like when you're not?
I would suggest once that every day. Sometimes I personally also am not great and I'll end up like skipping like 2 days, but then you do notice, I feel like, that there's less engagement, you know what I mean? So I probably would recommend trying to post something every day, even if you're not thinking much about it. But I would recommend, that's usually when I mix in like the recipes, meal prep tips, motivational support and encouragement. Once in a while, talking about the products and the programs, sharing transformation, health tips, recipe swap, like stuff like that. I would do that like all the time and just like mix up a lot of that kind of stuff. Or if someone says like, I don't know, I'm trying to find some exercise product somewhere or something, you can, I found this here, and just like help them with certain things.
Yeah, and what I like to do with free communities, because I have a faith-based one, it's like a faith and fitness one. And what I like to do is schedule a post throughout the week. So I just like will sit down in the beginning of the month and I schedule a bunch of posts so that I've got something. And then another thing that works good in free groups is like, hey, post a funny meme below or something like that, like not fitness and nutrition related to,
Yes.
just asking them to engage really helps sometimes.
And like mom stuff, like it's not always like, I guess, like fitness. It's definitely not always Beachbody. And it's kind of like, trying to make it lighthearted and fun too. So like, if they're mainly moms too, you could put any type of tip with motherhood or some funny thing about motherhood or anything that you like, that you think they would like, kind of a thing.
Yeah, and I think a free community is so important too, because then it's yours and it's your people and it's not like yes, it could be fun to do with another person and that's fine if you decide to do that too. But sorry, I sound like this, but like honestly, like that's how I built my business. Was I just had a free group and every month I changed it to, it was planks and thanks one month and mine used to be 30-day groups, but like I go back and like this person that I actually am talking to today that she's going to purchase a challenge back. She used to do my free groups back in like 2017. And it was like, hey girl, my planks and thanks group is starting. Do you want to get in? Like, I just had like these faithful people that would be there every month. And if they were in there, they were always going to get an invite for me. Hey, I know last month wasn't a good time for you, but do you want to join my VIP group and kind of talk about like what they'll get in addition to that too?
Oh yeah, I forgot to touch on when to invite them again, like to a total solution pack if you went from that to the free group. And then I forgot to touch back on that, if that makes sense. I will re-ask eventually again, like re-invite back to the total solution pack after, like what you said, after a little while of being in the free group.
And I don't know if you know this, but I know you use Teamsy, Nina. In Teamsy, you can add tags. So you could put that person's info in and it could just be, you add a tag, you add free group. And so then anytime you want to reach out to free group, you can search by that tag and everybody will come up. So you get everybody's name easily or can send messages and things like that. I do that with, this is kind of a side note now, but I also do that with clients and coaches. So good night, let me, so I'll do like June client, and I don't do the year because I figure it's an easy way. So every year if I'm looking at June, I'll be able to easily reach out to those people and follow up with. So just using tags on Teamsy is helpful too. Does anybody have any free group questions for Nina? Thank you, Nina. This was so helpful. You made it so simple. I feel like we overcomplicate free groups a lot.
I try to keep everything simple. I just like don't have much time. So like everything I do is like simple. Like when I was panicking trying to get Success Club 5, like at 11 o'clock PM, I literally would just start messaging people I talked to months before. I'm like, I don't know if you're ready yet, but you should really join me. And like, I was just all excited, voice messaging them. And they're like, oh, okay, I'll do it now. And like, I've been talking to her for 4 months, but it was the simplest thing. It was just like, oh, you should join me now. Like, I see you always post about the Lord, like it's a faith group and a fitness group. And she's like, oh, okay. You know, so like, I feel like a lot of it sometimes is over complicated, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I agree. And I feel like if you've already invited somebody once, like the follow-up is easy because you can, you know, hey, I know we chatted in the past, it wasn't the best time, but I'm really excited for our spooky themed spirit week this this month. We start October 17th. I would love to be able to do it together. Are you currently doing anything for your workouts these days? And usually anytime I ask somebody that, like this girl I'm talking to today, I was like, are you currently doing anything for workouts? She started responding. I posted that in the Battle of the Besties. She started responding and we were talking about anything else. And then I was like, what are you doing for workouts now? You should join me. Da, da, da. And she was like, oh, I might be interested. So you just like never know, just throw it in there. And like, you'll be surprised with how many people are like, man, yeah, I've been telling myself for a while, I need to get back into that. So just not being afraid.
Laura? Yeah, I don't get much. I message probably way too much than I should, but I don't really get like anyone, like I've never got someone like that said anything like rude or like, please don't message me again, or like nothing. Like I've never, and then if they don't answer every like 2 weeks, I'll send them another message, a question about something else or whatever. And eventually they usually do answer and just say, I'm sorry, I was really busy. I don't think, at least yet, I'm sure it will happen, but no one has been like rude or like mad that I asked them, if that makes sense.
Yeah, sometimes I'll just like go for it too. If like I really want somebody to join me and we were kind of talking about it and then the combo goes like they just ghost me, I'll just send them a bunch of gifts like, are you there? Are you alive? Hi, and I just like do that. And they're like, ha ha ha, sorry, I got busy. Like that's my go-to is like sending like gifts like, are you alive? Are you there? Hello. So Laura, we just wrapped up basically for free groups, but do you have any questions for Nina? And your kitchen looks beautiful, by the way. Is it?
No, I don't have any questions. I'll go back and listen to the recording because I do want to hear what Nina had to say. I've never been much of a free group person, but I am always willing to try new things and learn new things. It's always been a little bit just too much work. The juice isn't worth the squeeze for me. Like if I'm going to pour into people, I would rather just pour into my group. But I did a free group once. It was like a declutter group and that was really fun. But anyways, yeah, I'll go back and listen to what Nina has to say because I'm definitely interested in what's been working for her because it sounds like it's been successful.
I think one other thing that would be good too is if you have any documents or anything that you use for your free groups, I would say put it in a Google Doc and then I can add it to our Google Drive and I can just create a free group. I already have some stuff in there. But I can just create a Google Drive and it can be all free group stuff. So like, I'll show you what I already have. And Tanya Roberts is one of my coach friends and she did a call. I don't know if you guys watched her free group call, but she also shared a ton of resources. So I might have even put a free group thing on the boards app. I'll have to double check. Liz, says I did. Okay. Thanks. I don't remember anything. So yeah, I can put that stuff, and then I can put everything else on the board. So it's easy to find too, because you could easily just have an ongoing community, make some posts here and there, and then have like a scheduled 7 days. So Laura did a decluttering and then she saves what she does and she puts it into a Google Doc and then everybody has access. I did one in my faith-based class group one time. It was like declutter your home, your heart, your mind. And so I kind of did like a little bit of scripture, a little bit of decluttering tips. You can do simple things too. In speaking of like getting people involved, maybe you don't want to do a free group, but maybe you're going to do a giveaway for people just tagging you on Instagram stories every day. Like I did a make your bed challenge and everybody tagged me after they made their bed for a week and I like pulled a winner and it was really fun and it was like simple. It was just like take a picture of your made bed and tag me. So if free groups aren't your thing, but you do have some ideas that like get creative and maybe try it on Instagram. And those people that engage, like those are then like great conversations. And it's the same idea. So Nina's like, I haven't made a single Instagram post yet. I love you. You're muted, but October is the month for you. I feel it. Still muted. Still muted. Nobody can hear you.
See, if anyone can run a team call, I don't even know what I'm doing. But yeah, what was I gonna say? Oh gosh, no, I don't know. I was just thinking about I don't even remember the last time I made a bed. But anyways, I forget. Oh yeah, so I agree with Laura. It can be a lot of extra work, but I don't know. I have to do it obviously on top of the messaging, on top of the daily 5. So yes, it can be, but I always like to be building up something else. So I'm not like panicking at needing more people to talk to. I don't know. I like having it as something else, but it can be extra work.
Yeah. And I think too, you can also like do your invites, your messages, your connects in like bulk. So if like you have some days, like I know Cam Thursdays are super busy for her. She's got a bunch of other stuff going on with her MOPS group and stuff. And like Thursday, she typically doesn't do Beachbody. So like one day on the weekend, like say Saturday, she'll do that. Like, or if you want to do like, hey, Saturday mornings or when I do my bulk connections or, I do it on Saturdays or Wednesdays, like there's no one that says like you have to do it a certain way. As long as you get that number throughout the week, whatever works for you is good. So just finding what works for your biz. But for me personally, like if I log in the next morning and I don't have any unread messages, I'm like, man, I wasn't on my game yesterday because I didn't send enough messages. And that's how I want you guys to think is like, if you're not waking up to some unread messages, I mean, unless you were like up till 2 a.m. answering your messages, I think that's like just a little wake up call. Like I could have sent one more message. I could have like seen like if I could have helped one more woman yesterday. I have to go to bed. Does anyone have any thoughts?
No, but what is wrong with your voice? I missed that at the beginning of the call.
I know. What day is it? Monday, Friday, or Saturday? I woke up and I just like didn't have a voice and like somewhat of a sore throat, and I've had sinus stuff. So I've been sending a lot of voice messages and I sound like this, and I feel like I need to stop because people don't even listen to what I say. They're just like, oh, Nina was like, oh, you sound horrible. Go to bed. Didn't respond to like anything I said. Like I had another mom do that too. I'm like, okay, no voice messages until I have a voice. So, all right, I'm going to stop the recording. Let's take a picture.